everybody, it's Christine with Cocoa Daisy, and I am so excited to share with you the 4 stamp sets that we have for this month for our collection called Daily Journal, which is all about art journaling and mixed media and cameras. We've got some cameras thrown in, not in the stamp sets, but we have cameras in the collection as well. So it's just all about having fun with art and not taking it too serious and playing. And that's a big thing that I talk about when we do our stamping as well. So there's no rules, especially with these stamp sets. They're meant to look imperfect and they're meant to have fun with. And with this, you can have, again, so much fun with all of the color that you can do with this. Any colors you can think of. The collection is filled with colors, so there's all kinds of colors that you can use. But for this demonstration, I will go through the ones that I used. Mango, melon orange, I used rosy, island, apple, sea glass, citrine, which is I love that. That's a beautiful color. And this sky blue. And then, of course, for black, we use the VersaFine. Something else we have new in the store. And I'm hoping to, if we're out of any of these from the stamp market, I'm going to try and get some more in by the time we have early ordering. But something else we have in the store I want you guys to check out. I am in love with this Lawn Fawn Stamp Chamois. This thing is amazing. So I've tried stamp scrubbers, I've tried stamp cleaners, you know, where you spray it on, or I've used microfiber cloths, I've used baby wipes. Nothing works as well so far that I have found as this Lawn Fawn Stamp Chamois. And we have some of these in the store. And all it is, it'll be hard when you take it out of the package. It's real thin. It's kind of like those chamois that you used to see when people would wash their car to get the water off the car, to dry things. So you wet it, and you just wet it and then wring the extra water out, and that's it. That's all you do. Now, I have mine just in this little container to keep it damp. I think you can purchase other containers somewhere. Just kind of even a little Tupperware would be fine. But it just kind of keeps it damp. If it dries out, you just reactivate it and wet it. But it cleans the stamps like amazing. I hardly had the inky fingers that I normally have when I'm creating these examples. And it'll stay stained, that's fine. You can rinse out some of the ink, but it just keeps working and working. So I highly recommend getting one of the stamp chamois. And those are in the Daisy store under the stamps and inks section is where we put that. So check that out. It's definitely worth having in your stash if you do any kind of stamping at all. I loved it. So we have 4 stamp sets this month to go along with the mixed media aspect of this collection. So one of the things that I wanted to kind of show you is that what we did, we created a set of stamps that let you create some of these fun, distressed looking backgrounds. So we've done the stitching stamps in the past. So if you've got those in your stash, dig those out. These fun little stitchings and threads. Some people think they're scribbles. They're not. They're actually threads, because when you do mixed media, a lot of times people will stitch on their pages. So they're stitching. So if you go through and you look in your stash, we've done some of these kinds of stamps before, and they would be perfect to layer in with this. But what we wanted to do is give you a set of background stamps that you could create some of these effects yourself and layer in with kind of any other stamps you have. If you have any, like for instance, you see the butterfly here. If you have any other image stamps, they will work great with these background stamps. And then we also gave you some numbers, and there's some alphas in here as well. So The first thing I want to show you is, as I mentioned, the background stamps. So we have these. These are in the Modern Memory Keeping Kit, the distressed numbers, and they have kind of a graffiti look, which goes perfect with this collection and this theme and the other things we have going on as far as the artwork. So the number set you get in the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit. And then we had a fun kind of distressed titles or word set, and this is in the Classified Memory Keeping Kit. Okay, so those three. And then we have an entire alphabet. Again, kind of that graffiti look, they're distressed. This is will be a freestanding separate purchase. So this is a separate purchase that you can get as far as the alphas, but it does match the numbers. So the two sets that are in the stamp subscription are these two. The stamps from the Modern Memory Keeping Kit and the Traveler's Notebook Memory Keeping Kit are always the two stamps that will be in your stamp subscription if you subscribe to that. So I'm going to start with this stamp set from the Modern Memory Keeping Kit, and it's these fun distress stamps. So on their own, and I don't really know how I would describe these. I mean, there's one that has a little star. This is more kind of like an ink. This is kind of more like a dry brush, and then there's a little arrow in there, which is fun. This almost looks like a little brick pattern, and this is kind of like a tiny bubble wrap. If you've ever taken bubble wrap and used it on a layout, that's kind of got that effect. And then we added in this fun little arrow and the little birds, because that's an element you'll see just to kind of give you that whole idea of how you can layer images with these as well. And so just some of the fun ways, and again, play with the colors, play with the patterns. This one you can see I've used 3 of them. I used this one here, this one, and then the little arrows or the triangles, and I layered those that way. I put these two together, and again, just playing with colors and patterns. I did the little stars in the background and added the little birds there. And then this one, I just did just what looks kind of like an ink or the paint splatters with the arrows. And I like the little paint splatters. To me, this is like one of the most versatile stamps, because you could, if you just want to add a teeny bit of something behind a photograph or on a page, even in your planner, in your memory planner, you want to just have that little bit of something, you could do that going off the edge of a page. Really, really easy. And then I combined these two here. And as you turn the stamp, you can just build and build and build. And I'll show you that on another one as well. So you can just keep doing that. So we're going to move on. I'm going to show you a few more examples. So this is what I meant by you could just keep stamping the same stamp and create a whole background. You could do this, and you could layer these, and you can see where I turned the stamp. I did the same thing here. You could do this, and then you could use a circle punch or a square punch and punch that out and have a really pretty pattern that you could then use basically as like die cuts. And you can see that where I did that here, where I just kind of kept turning. You could layer it. You could do a fun ombre effect or even a rainbow effect with those as well. And then I have the stamp set from the Classified Memory Keeping Kit. And so these words, we just thought they would be fun to use in your journaling or as a title or a subtitle. Combine these with alpha stickers, combine them with the alpha set or the number set. They are distressed as well, so they'll work perfectly with these two sets if you want to make titles and subtitles. A couple of the fun ways that I layered these is so you have memories captured, favorite moments, the best day, favorite snapshots, cherished moments, cherished memories, favorite day. So you can see how you can layer all of those together. And then I thought, as a background, if you did all of the larger words in a lighter color and then went through with the smaller words and did those in a darker color, that's a really fun background. And then if you wanted to combine the two, I did that here with this one, where I created this background. I added the little birds up there, and then I added the little arrows, and then I stamped the little title as well. So again, you could see that you could put a photograph right here in your journaling on a traveler's notebook page, and that's it, it's done. How cool would that be? And you would have all of that texture and all of that fun art journaling feel without paint and all of that. If you're kind of unsure of how to use paint, I love the fact that these distress stamps give you that ability to do that. And again, it has an imperfect look, so it's you don't feel like, oh, I'm gonna mess up. Well, there's kind of no way to mess up with these stamps. And then, so obviously, there's not a lot that I can show you as far as using an alpha stamp set and a number stamp set. You all kind of know what those are for. But there's a few things that you could do with them. One of the things that I wanted to mention is if you use the StaysOn ink, which is an ink that you can use on glossy surfaces, you can stamp directly onto a photograph with your title, which I did back in June, and that with the outline stamp sets that we had there, that was really fun. I stamped my title directly on my photograph. So use the StaysOn ink to do that. You could also, that vellum sticker paper that comes in the journaling kit, if you use a StaysOn ink or an ink that works on a glossy surface, you could stamp on that with these as well. But just a couple of the things that you can do. So I did stamp out the numbers here for you to see. But you could do a countdown. You could use them as a date or a time. And then I added the arrows and the memories. So 10 memories, that could be the basis for a layout. And then you have 10 photographs. You could use it in art journaling or just regular journaling if you wanted to list out 10 things. You know, if you wanted to do, like one of the journal prompts we have a lot of times in the journaling kit is the 3-minute brain dump. Well, you could do stamp the 3 and then write out brain dump or use alpha stickers for that and create a whole page that way as well. So there's a lot of fun ways that you can use these. This is just one that I wanted to show you. If you wanted to combine it even more with a title, how pretty is that? And I love this font. This is so fun. Okay, so I stamped out September. And then I added that kind of paint or ink splatter one. I stamped out the moments underneath, and then I added the little birds. Again, how simple is that? You do that, you add a bunch of photographs, maybe a grid design with some photographs on that, and you're set. There's a layout just like that. Super simple, super easy. And I may have used this on a head daisy planner memory planning spread. So I think I'm going to use that as well. So there are a ton of fun ways to use these stamp sets all together. I love this look. It's definitely an opportunity for you to take a bunch of ink colors and just play. I promise you're going to have a ton of fun with this.